The universe is full of mysteries, but sometimes the most astonishing discoveries are right beneath our feet. Recently, archaeologists in Egypt unearthed a treasure, not gold, but wine, sealed for 5,000 years. This isn't just a relic, it's a message from one of humanity's first great civilizations. Imagine, a snapshot of ancient life, preserved in clay. We often think of Egypt as pyramids and pharaohs, but this find brings us closer to the everyday joys of the past. These people weren't just historical figures, they celebrated, feasted, and enjoyed a good drink. 5,000 years ago, cities were new, writing had just begun, and the pyramids didn't exist yet. Yet, a pharaoh was buried with hundreds of jars of his favorite vintage, destined for the afterlife. This isn't just archaeology, it's a direct connection to the human experience across millennia. So, let's journey back to ancient Egypt, to the sands where kings were buried and history was made. We'll explore how this discovery happened and what it reveals about our own story. Sometimes the most profound wonders are the ones we can almost taste. This is more than a dig. It's a story of culture, science, and the timeless desire to celebrate life. Prepare to be amazed by the secrets hidden in these ancient jars. The past is closer than we think. Let's uncork history together. Our story leads us to Abydos, one of Egypt's most sacred sites and the gateway to the afterlife. Here in el-Kab, the mother of pots, the earliest pharaohs were buried, surrounded by offerings. In the tomb of Pharaoh Jer, dating to around 3000 BCE, archaeologists made a stunning find, hundreds of large pottery jars. This was no ordinary burial, it was a royal wine cellar for eternity. Over 300 jars, each carefully sealed, were meant to supply endless feasts in the afterlife. Wine wasn't a luxury, it was essential for the pharaoh's eternal journey. Despite ancient looting, these jars survived, ignored by thieves but priceless to us. They offer a direct link to the rituals, tastes, and technologies of a civilization at its dawn. These humble pots, preserved in darkness, waited millennia to tell their story. In their silence, they reveal the grandeur and humanity of Egypt's first kings. Sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones left behind. Hundreds of jars, but how do we know they held wine? Modern science became our time machine. Researchers analyzed residue inside the pottery, searching for tartaric acid, a chemical signature unique to grapes. Using advanced techniques, they found clear evidence. These jars once brimmed with grape wine, but the Egyptians didn't just store wine, they perfected its preservation. The jars were lined with plant resin, making them waterproof and antibacterial. Clay stoppers, sealed and stamped with the pharaoh's mark, ensured freshness and royal ownership. This was ancient quality control and branding at its finest. These early vintners weren't just making wine, they were mastering the art of keeping it for eternity. Every detail reveals a sophisticated understanding of chemistry and storage. The past speaks through molecules, and the message is clear. This was wine, fit for a king. This discovery is about more than ancient alcohol. It's a window into Egypt's soul. Wine was a symbol of power, religion, and eternal life, linked to the god Osiris and the promise of rebirth. Pharaohs hosted lavish feasts for gods and ancestors, with wine at the center of cosmic order. The sheer volume found in Jer's tomb shows these celebrations were epic. Producing so much wine required vast vineyards, skilled workers, and a complex economy. Wine was a luxury for the elite, a mark of status and divinity. These jars are artifacts of power, faith, and a society taking its first steps onto the world stage. In every vessel, we glimpse the ambitions and beliefs of a civilization. Could you drink this 5,000-year-old wine? Sadly no. The liquid is long gone, leaving only a dry residue. Even if it remained, time would have erased its flavor. But science offers clues. Traces of herbs, spices, and resins suggest a complex, potent drink. Ancient Egyptians crafted wines flavored with coriander, sage, and piney resins, more like a liqueur than today's wines. Imagine a thick, sweet, herbal beverage designed to impress gods and kings. The taste would be intense, unfamiliar, and unforgettable. While we can't sip it, the story it tells is rich. Each jar is a recipe from the past, revealing creativity and skill. Every glass of wine today echoes this ancient tradition. That's a legacy worth toasting. This find at Abydos doesn't just add a footnote, it rewrites history. It proves that large-scale, sophisticated winemaking existed in Egypt over 1,000 years earlier than once thought. The first dynasty Egyptians weren't just experimenting, they had mastered the craft. Their state-run wine industry required advanced agriculture, chemistry, and logistics. These jars are testaments to innovation and ambition, not just survival. Techniques like flavoring, sealing, and branding began here and still shape our world. Pharaoh Jer's seal is one of history's oldest logos, a direct line to today's wine labels. These ancient jars invite us to imagine a richer, more human past. History, like wine, is best savored, one story at a time.